This is PSN News. It's Sunday, April 27th. We have all you need to know. Live from the campus of Penn State University, this is PSN News. It's Sunday, April 27th. We have all you need to know about the new UPUA president, as well as more on the charges facing a Penn State wrestler.
We also have the latest information on the George Santos fraud case, along with sports, entertainment, and an interview. Stay tuned. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Anneke Wagner.
And I'm Emma Goldkopf. Following Rasha El-Wakil's removal as University Park Undergraduate Association president, Vice President Fletcher Port has assumed the role of president. This move is in accordance with UPUA's governing documents after El-Wakil was removed as a result of a secret vote Wednesday night. UPUA did not respond to a request to comment from Onward State Thursday morning, but the association has since cited a lack of transparency, trust, and communication, as well as unprofessionalism, as reasons for the former president's removal.
Penn State's chapter of the NAACP is criticizing the closed-door meeting where the University Park Undergraduate Association president was removed from the assembly. In a statement Thursday, the chapter asked for a detailed account of the impeachment proceedings from the UPUA, citing student body participation in the election as the reason for the demand. The chapter claims UPUA's failure to release a statement on the impeachment is not only alarming, but undermines the integrity of the democratic process itself.
Penn State wrestler Braden Davis is facing multiple charges after he trespassed on fraternity property and ran from police. The incident occurred in the early morning of March 19th, when police were dispatched to a fraternity on Prospect Avenue after a private security employee reported a disturbance. Davis has been charged with resisting arrest, evading on foot, defiant trespass, underage possession of alcohol, and public drunkenness. He is not currently in custody, but is awaiting a preliminary hearing on May 21st.
A Penn State international student sued the Trump administration Thursday, arguing the federal government denied him due process when it revoked his student visa that allowed him to be in the U.S. The Indian student Pradyumna Vallabh Josiola asked U.S. District Judge Matthew W. Braun to stop the government from deporting him and allow him to complete his computer science degree, for which he is expected to graduate in spring of 2026. Now stick around, because after the break, Cassie Vaselis will have the latest in sports.
If you don't include human beings, you cannot accurately model the way the climate has changed over the last 50 years.
And I don't know that we're ever going to be free of some sort of bug.
A natural state of motion for something to be in is to remain in its current state of motion.
I've been lucky enough to discover various things out there. Pulsars, exoplanets, and some other phenomena that ended up being interesting.
Hi, I'm Johnson Gary with Asking Penn State.
With Asking Penn State, Asking Penn State.
Asking Penn State, Asking Penn State.
Welcome back to Asking Penn State.
Welcome back to PSN News. I'm Cassie Vaselis with your sports update. Penn State men's volleyball swept Princeton yesterday for their 37th EIVA tournament title. The Nittany Lions swept all three of their opponents in the tournament to improve to 14-15 and grab the conference's automatic bid to the NCAA tournament.
Michael Schwab tallied 35 assists in the match as well as 9 aces in the tournament to be named the EIVA tournament's most outstanding player. Penn State men's lacrosse took down Johns Hopkins yesterday in the first round of the Big Ten tournament. The blue and white won 13-12 with Kyle Lehman scoring 4 goals. The Nittany Lions caused 11 turnovers while only committing 5 themselves. Penn State won the faceoff battle 16-13. The Nittany Lions will take on the Maryland Terrapins on Thursday in the Big Ten tournament semifinals in Ann Arbor, Michigan. The 2025 NFL Draft started on Thursday and ended yesterday. The draft was full of surprises, and there were 5 Penn Staters drafted. The top 3 picks were Cameron Ward to the Tennessee Titans, Travis Hunter to the Jacksonville Jaguars, and Abdul Carter to the New York Giants. One of the big storylines this weekend was quarterback Shedeur Sanders falling to the 5th round and getting drafted by the Cleveland Browns. The NHL playoffs are in full swing as each team is battling to make it into the second round. Each team in the playoffs has won 1 game, causing there to be no sweeps. Going into the playoffs, the Winnipeg Jets are the NHL's top seed, while the Washington Capitals earned the number 1 seed in the East. Adrian Kempe from the Los Angeles Kings leads the playoffs in points with 9. Carolina Hurricanes' Frederick Anderson leads goalies with a save percentage of 94%. That's all for your sports update. After the break, Christian Audia has the latest in the world of entertainment. Stay tuned.
Live from the campus of Penn State University, this is PSN News.
Penn State Network News is a student-produced, bi-weekly live news show featuring all student talent.
From local and national news to sports, entertainment, weather, and live interviews, we have it all.
We also feature student-made packages from across campus.
Airing every Monday and Wednesday at 7 p.m.
We are PSN News.
Be sure to check us out on Twitter and Facebook at PSN News, on Instagram at Penn State Network News, and to subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/PSN News.
Have a good night and stay safe, Penn State.
Welcome back to PSN News. I'm Christian Audia with your entertainment update. The Pennsylvania Chamber Orchestra season will come to a close with the performance of Beethoven Bash on Saturday, May 3rd, and Sunday, May 4th. The concert will be at 7:30 p.m. in the recital hall at the Music Building at Penn State. Expect to hear classical symphonies such as Mass in C Major, Symphony No. 4, and so many more performances over the musical weekend. Tickets for the concert are priced between $7 and $30 and can be bought in advance on the Pennsylvania Chamber Orchestra website or at the door. Penn State's annual student-run music festival, Movin' On, showcases a variety of performing artists as a celebration for the graduating seniors. At the intramural field on May 2nd, the lineup will be jam-packed with talent, including headliner All-American Rejects, Pusha T, Baby Tate, and many more talented artists. Celebrating its 50th year, Movin' On continues to provide the festival free of charge and a night of musical fun. To ensure you have the most amount of fun while staying safe, make sure to bring a water bottle to stay hydrated and sunscreen so you don't get burnt. The official teaser video for the Season 3 of The Summer I Turned Pretty finally arrived April 24th. And the clip makes it clear that the complicated love story between Belly Conklin, Jeremiah Fisher, and Conrad Fisher will be at the center of the final installment. The trailer provided a glimpse at a pivotal moment from Jenny Han's 3rd book in the trilogy, We Will Always Have Summer, where Belly and Conrad unexpectedly run into each other at the cousins' beach house over Christmas break and end up hanging out all night without telling Jeremiah, who Belly starts dating at the end of the 2nd novel. With so many questions to be answered, make sure to tune in July 16th when the 3rd season is expected to air. The 2025 American Music Awards nominees were announced on Wednesday, with Kendrick Lamar leading with 10 nominations. Post Malone has 8 nominations, with Billie Eilish, Chappell Roan, and Shabuzi having 7 nominations. Some first-time nominees include Doechii, Jelly Roll, and Tommy Richmond. Voting is now open in all award categories via voteamas.com and the AMA's Instagram page, but will close on May 15th at 11:59 p.m., so make sure to get those votes in before it's too late. The award show will air live from Las Vegas at 8 p.m. on May 26th on CBS and Paramount+. That's all for your entertainment update. Coming up next, interview anchor Abby Shashute will be speaking with Chris Vinay, an incoming producer for Penn State Sports Night. Stay tuned.
If you don't include human beings, you cannot accurately model the way the climate has changed over the last 50 years.
And I don't know that we're ever going to be free of some sort of bug.
A natural state of motion for something to be in is to remain in its current state of motion.
I've been lucky enough to discover various things out there. Pulsars, exoplanets, and some other phenomena that ended up being interesting.
Hi, I'm Johnson Gary with Asking Penn State.
With Asking Penn State, Asking Penn State.
Asking Penn State, Asking Penn State.
Welcome back to Asking Penn State.
Welcome back to PSN News. I'm Abby Shashut, and today I'm joined by Chris Vadnais, an incoming executive producer for Penn State Sports Night. Thank you so much for joining us to chat with us this evening, Chris.
Thanks for having me.
So kind of to start, I guess, what was your journey throughout Penn State Sports Night? Like, how did you get started?
So I started this year, actually. I've only been a comm major for 3 semesters, even though I'm a incoming junior now. I was originally a physics major. Did not enjoy that at all. So I switched to this, started doing other clubs like comm radio, things like that. And then this year, I wanted to get more involved. So joined Sports Night, loved doing it every week. Great people there. My producers were great. They taught me a lot about being on air, about reporting, my presence. They've helped me work a lot on off camera, and have gotten me to the point where I am. And they put out applications to be a producer. I wanted to help others get to where I'm at now and improve, help everyone else improve. And I was lucky enough to be selected. So.
That's awesome. And kind of like going into the journalism realm, did you know that you wanted to focus on sports, or did you kind of like discover that through your involvement in comm radio, Sports Night, and the organizations that you joined?
Yeah, I definitely wanted to go into sports off the rip. I've always been a sports guy since I was little. I had a bunch of friends who lived on my street, so I've been a big sports kid since I was little. And then switching into this, I was definitely interested in doing a lot of stuff, classes and things like that. I've done some more general news reporting like you guys here. But sports is really just what I enjoy. I want to get involved in it. I want to really help make a great production, just talk about what I love professionally and something that I'm passionate about.
Mm-hmm. And is there a specific sport that you like to talk about, play even? Yeah.
Absolutely. I didn't play it much actually, but I love basketball, especially the NBA. I'm a Massachusetts guy, so I'm a big Celtics fan, so I can't complain too much about how they're doing right now, hopefully going back to back. But yeah, basketball has been really great. I love March Madness too, so that was glued to my screen for that. Playoffs are going on right now for the NBA, so I've been glued to my screen for that too. Celtics actually play tonight, so I'll be doing that after this wraps up. But yeah, basketball, football. I played a lot of volleyball in high school, so I'm excited. I do beat reporting for the men's team here. That's been a lot of fun, getting to interview players during media, things like that. It's been a really good opportunity.
No, that's awesome. And earlier we were speaking and you told me about how you cover both college sports and league sports. I guess what area would you like to focus on?
Definitely professional.
Mm-hmm.
When I get older, I would love to work in the NBA. Sticking with my basketball topic, that NFL really. Any professional league, just working at that high of a level at a professional company like, ESPN or Fox Sports, whatever hires me, I'm figure that out in the future. But yeah, definitely want to stick to the professional sports in the future. But I would love to work in college too.
That's awesome. And I guess kind of going off of that, how has being a part of the show helped you grow, and how has it impacted you as you're working toward these goals?
First of all, my professionalism, I sort of get like this imposter syndrome whenever I'm doing this stuff, and I'm like, oh, this is a beautiful studio we have, working in such a professional setting. But this year, especially getting to be a part of Sports Night and just taking that step up, especially in the future, I've had the opportunity to, take myself more seriously, take my work more seriously, and really see what I'm capable of in the future. And I'm really excited for that. And I'm excited to do the best that I can and help not just Sports Night, but help all, PSN TV get better.
No, that's awesome. And you said that you started in the beginning of your sophomore year,
Mm-hmm.
And now you're becoming an EP. That's epic.
Yeah.
Like the amount of growth and people seeing how much work you've put in, honestly, congrats on that.
I
That's
really appreciate it.
exciting.
Thank
And
you so much.
I guess becoming EP, what is one of your visions for the show? Like, if whether it's something that you guys are currently doing or something that you want to add?
Yeah, one of the ideas that I pitched we had interviews for them, and it was an idea for a new segment. Name's tentative, but I sort of called it Sports 101, which the idea behind it was, do you have a family member that did you ever watch sports or something, and they don't really know what's going on? I have family members like that, and I've always wanted to be able to talk to them about especially what I do and the sports that I cover. So the idea behind the segment was to teach people about a certain aspect of a game or sport that's relevant during that time. So maybe explaining for basketball's sake, we'll stick with that, like what a pick and roll is, different types of offenses, things like that, and just more of an educational segment for the viewer to not just improve their knowledge, but help give a better understanding of the sports that we do and sports that we covered. I think it would not just help viewers, but I think it would help us become better journalists in our field.
No, that sounds awesome. I know personally I would tune in. I did not grow up watching sports, so I'm a little bit rusty.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit rusty.
Exactly. That's what the segment would be for. If you ever wanted to, if there's something that you want to learn about, a certain sport, they're like, oh, that kind of seems interesting, then you could probably check that out and learn a thing or two.
Got you. I guess, do you have any sports lingo that you could share with me right now that you might talk about? You mentioned a pick and roll.
A pick and roll. That
Yeah.
is okay. That's a basketball term. It's when the point guard passes it into the big in the middle and either rolls off of them, they can drive to the paint, and the big can either pass to them, or the big can figure out, do they want to do their own thing in the center? So it gives them two options, and it's a pretty central part in modern basketball today and how their offenses are run.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, I know that I'm going to be tuning in, as I said.
Thank you.
I really want to get my sports knowledge up. But yeah, anything else that you would like to share about the show and like next year?
Just in general, we do a show every other week. 1 week is our recorded show where we talk about really anything that we put our minds to. If we want to talk about professional, we want to talk about college, whatever's relevant at the time. And then every other week we have our Dear Old State update, where we do as I mentioned, I do beat reporting for the volleyball team, but we do football, we do basketball, men's, women's, all that. And we come together and we talk about, we update you on what's been going on around Penn State. It's a lot of fun, and it's a good watch.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming in this evening.
Yeah.
Make sure you tune in to Sports Night next semester when they start back up. But now stick around, because coming up next, Emma and Annika will have the latest news from across the nation.
Live from the campus of Penn State University, this is PSN News.
Penn State Network News is a student-produced bi-weekly live news show featuring all student talent.
From local and national news to sports, entertainment, weather, and live interviews, we have it all.
We also feature student-made packages from across campus.
Airing every Monday and Wednesday at 7 p.m.
We are PSN News.
Be sure to check us out on Twitter and Facebook at PSN News, on Instagram at Penn State Network News, and to subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/PSN News.
Have a good night and stay safe, Penn State.
The New Jersey man was charged with arson after a bonfire he set in the Pine Barrens was not fully extinguished and sparked a wildfire. The blaze set by Joseph Kling is affecting air quality in the New York City area and is still burning in southern Jersey. On Thursday, the fire had grown to nearly 24 square miles, nearing the largest wildfire in the state in 2 decades. Law enforcement first noticed the blaze from a fire tower Tuesday morning. No injuries or deaths have been reported.
Former U.S. Representative George Santos was sentenced Friday to over 7 years in prison. Santos pleaded guilty last summer to wire fraud and aggravated identity theft, charges that led to his removal from Congress. In court, Santos appealed for mercy, fighting through tears. Following his sentencing, Santos took to X later to call for a White House reprieve. In his statement, he wrote, "I believe that 7 years is an over-the-top politically influenced sentence, and I implore that President Trump gives me a chance to prove I'm more than the mistakes I've made."
The chief counsel of the civil rights movement, Fred Gray, was honored with a statue outside the Alabama Bar Association. Gray is an attorney who represented distinguished civil rights leaders like Martin Luther King Jr. and Rosa Parks throughout the civil rights movement in Alabama. The 94-year-old gave a speech at the unveiling of the statue on Thursday, noting his gratitude for other individuals he represented that have gone unrecognized. The statue is a life-size Gray sitting on a bench, holding a portfolio with the state's bar logo.
Chattanooga has been named North America's first national park city. The city in southeast Tennessee, home to roughly 190,000 residents, is now the third national park city in the world, following behind London and Adelaide, Australia. The designation acknowledges Chattanooga's abundant green spaces and commitment to environmental stewardship. The title comes from the National Park City Foundation, a charity based out of London that envisions a better future by thinking of cities more like national parks. That concludes our show tonight at PSN News.
Be sure to check us out on Twitter and Facebook at PSN News, on Instagram at Penn State Network News, and to subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/PSN News.
Have a good night and stay safe.